I used to work. I used to work every day. I never keep my car every day.
No, you.
I worked at the school. I let her use my daddy's car every day. My daddy just died.
I didn't use your car. I didn't use that car.
My son was so upset, he sat there and cried because nobody came to his birthday party.
He wasn't upset that I didn't come. He was upset that his cousins didn't come from Florida. It had nothing to do with it. His cousins in Florida that he doesn't see a lot. That's where it was at.
Imagine breaking up after 8 years because your partner denies your 1-year-old, then showing up to court with receipts, exhibits, and a whole window jumping story. Yep, Ms. Hale says Mr. Andrews is Amarillo's father, and she's here to prove it. Mr. Andrews says he can't trust a serial cheater. Tension already sky high. You can feel Judge Lake lean in like, let's get to it. Drama overload.
Ms. Hale, after 8 years off and on with the defendant, the two of you called it quits just 3 months ago because he denies your 1-year-old daughter, Amarillo. Now, you want to prove to him that he is her biological father. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Andrews, you say you can't trust Ms. Hale because she's a serial cheater, and you are 100% certain that Amarillo's not your daughter.
Right away, Ms. Hale lays out their rocky history, on and off for years, even moving to Kansas to escape the mess. The doubt, she admits, kicked in when Amarillo didn't resemble their other child. Oof. I mean, just look at her face. She's pleading for acknowledgement while bracing for another denial. Things got rocky quickly.
I moved to Kansas and got away from him. We then started our relationship back, and I had planned on having another child with him. So I did get pregnant. Amarillo came, and I think the doubts came because she looks different than our other child.
Then Mr. Andrews brings the heat, an exhibit with sexual text messages. He's certain the messages are from the exact man she'd been seeing before. The subtext? That's gotta be his baby. You could cut this tension with a knife. Miss Hale? She doesn't deny the vibe. Most likely sexual. Talk about messy.
Father, you saw sexual text messages from another man. Is that correct?
Correct.
Explain.
The same person who I see was text message from the same guy who she was having an affair with all along from the whole get-go. So when I seen that text message, my whole thought process was, it's gotta be his baby.
And then, boom, she jumped out the window at 3 a.m. Excuse me? Judge Lake literally does the Wonder Woman joke, because who climbs out a window at 3 a.m.? Ms. Hale says the front door was barricaded and she was going to find comfort. I mean, just look at that reaction. Mr. Andrews is low-key smug while she's unapologetic.
She leave the house every time. It's always when a private car come or it's after 3 a.m. That's the only time he able to get away from his wife, so-called.
What?
It was that said.
Wait a minute. So she gets a private call.
Right.
Then she leaves the house.
Right.
And it's 3 a.m.
Right.
How are you getting up at 3 a.m. and leaving the house?
We finally get a timeline. May 2014, she tells Maurice everything. He comes back to Kansas, they try for a boy. Amarillo is conceived. She declares she was faithful during the window of conception. Judge Lake is side-eyeing the whole room like, so we're crystal clear, right?
And told him if he wants to make it work, we're gonna make it work. And he came back to Kansas and we conceived Amarillo. We were trying for a boy and I wasn't cheating. I stopped. I'd being faithful and trying to be a good woman to him.
How were you being a good woman? And look, I'm not saying he was perfect either, because I'm getting to you next.
No doubt.
Then the car condom bombshell. He says it was a used condom. She fires back. They were sealed in the box. He doubles down, adding that he takes their daughter to daycare and found it in the car multiple times. This is the kind of he said, she said that makes editors rub their hands. Drama at its finest, folks.
Found a condom
So at
in the
least
car.
I was using protection and it ain't no one else.
Do that. But she know I'm the one who take my daughter to daycare every morning. I'm the one get the dress, take daycare every morning. Little dirty people couldn't even take the condom and throw it away.
If you found a condom in the car.
So
And
wait.
I showed you.
It was a dirty
It
condom?
was a dirty condom. It wasn't just a pack.
I don't agree with that because I didn't see it. He didn't show me nothing. He showed me a box.
Another curveball. Mr. Andrews claims she told him about 2 other potential fathers 4 months ago. She snaps that he's full of it and says the cheating came from looking for security and comfort. Judge Lake's eyebrow practically climbs off her face because this shifts the entire timeline suspicion.
But I apologize, Your Honor.
She told me 2 other men were daddy.
His mouth,
which
from the time I wake up in
which
the
I was
morning
already
till the time I
assuming
go
from
to
the
sleep,
get-go
does
anyway.
not stop, and all he does all damn day talk
I don't put my hands on you,
about
but
how
just-
bad of a person that I am. So when I went out and cheated on him, it was to find security and comfort because
I know what comfort means.
Clarification time. Ms. Hale insists she never said there were 2 other men. She agreed with him just to stop the argument. She doubles down that she wanted a boy and that Mr. Andrews is Amarillo's father. Period. Can anyone else feel the temperature in this room rising?
Oh, you just said, okay. You didn't come to him and say, I
No.
want to tell you that there could potentially be
No,
two.
there is no potential. He's the only one. As I stated, May 2014, when I got with him again, as in, let's work it out, we were planning to have a child because I wanted a boy. So why would I sleep around with other people?
They argue over late-night private calls and leaving the house. He swears that's when she'd sneak out. She says he'd barricade the door. The back and forth is relentless. Judge Lake keeps having to referee like it's overtime. You could cut the awkward with a butter knife.
And you got these little beautiful children. Beautiful. And from what I'm saying, I don't even know how you have time to make babies because you don't stop talking. If you're doing this in here, I can only imagine what you're doing at home.
That's why he's not in my home no more.
That's why I left the home.
No, he would not leave.
It ain't just your home. It was mine too, fool.
I don't even know where you all were at in this relationship when Amarillo was born. Like, so
I
are you
was so
trying to
stressed
work
out.
it
I was 8
out?
months pregnant.
Or are you?
Then an emotional pivot. Mr. Andrews talks about being there when the baby was born. For a second, the walls drop. He remembers the birth. Judge Lake zeroes in. So you were there? That one detail lands like a weight because presence matters, and you can see it stings Ms. Hale.
He was there the whole pregnancy, took care, rubbed my back, feet, helped with the kids, helped keep the house clean, whatnot. But mentally, he wasn't a good.
So at the birth, did you go to the? So you were there at the hospital because you got to see her be born.
Pregnant, she was having.
Let me tell you something, Mr. Andrews.
Guys.
What?
Right. We can't leave that out. While she was pregnant, she was having the fear. And yes, I still stay with her.
Hold on, slow down.
We hear that he was seeing someone else while she was pregnant. Ms. Hale frames her own behavior as searching for comfort and security. The courtroom vibe turns reflective, like both have receipts and regrets. Judge Lake keeps them focused. We're here for paternity.
Then she wouldn't tell the guy not to call back. I'm right telling
I can have friends, and it's not a
private call.
Like I said, there was only one person that I had
I couldn't have no friends.
For comfort and security, and he did have friends. He had tons of friends.
I had numbers and names on my
I'm not
phone.
going into detail.
Why do you need friends when you're having babies everywhere? You already had another baby.
Understandable. I couldn't have no woman friend, period.
So, Ms. Hale, look, I want to know this.
The credibility contest heats up. Accusations of lies, who contacted whom, and what was said just last week. It's a swirl of he said/she said, and Judge Lake is visibly losing patience. Stop talking in circles. You can practically hear her think. Cue the drum roll, because it's clearly time for answers.
One of the guys was over a house when her brother just moved down there.
This is a friend I've never been sexual with, and he is talking about a friend being at my home.
Who you said was Amarillo father. It's a man
I've never been
who
sexual
you know
with
I
this
had
person.
contact with. They had physical contact with over this situation.
Because he's delusional.
And then as
He
soon as I
thinks
leave,
I've been sexual
you had
with
this
this
man
person.
at the house where I just left from.
Final pleas. Ms. Hale insists she's not dragging in other men. Amarillo is his, point blank. Mr. Andrews admits the doubt has eaten at him, but there's a flash of softness whenever Amarillo is mentioned. Heartbreaking stuff, because the love is obvious, but the trust is shredded.
I'm not bringing up any dirt. Like I said, I'm just responding to what he's saying, but I'm only here for Amarillo. So that's the only reason why I'm here. I'm not here to bring up dirt.
I'm only here because I got
and
doubt.
I'm not here to
That's the only
bring
reason
up
I'm here.
what he's done to me. I've been hurt.
Because I got doubt.
But regardless, Amarillo's his.
Look at
and
that,
I want to
look at-
prove that to him.
look at everything
and
you've done.
his
Why would I have
family
doubt?
members.
Here it is, the moment we've all been waiting for. Judge Lake announces, we can all agree that this has been one hell of a roller coaster with these guys. I'm just glad that Judge Lauren is ready to announce the results. Now, who do you think the father of the child is? Well, let's find that out.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Andrew, you are the father.
Imagine walking into paternity court convinced you've built a family. Then a relative pulls out a phone and your whole life gets flipped. That's Mr. Jordan's reality today. He says Ms. Heim tricked him into signing the birth certificate for little Caitlin, and now another man, Mr. Knight, might be the dad. Judge Lake is not here for games. Buckle up because this web of lies gets sticky fast.
Mr. Jordan, you claim the defendant tricked you into signing her daughter's birth certificate and being a daddy. But 2 years later, you were told that another man is her biological father. You opened your case because you want DNA proof you are not the father so you can get your name removed from the birth certificate. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Jordan lays it out. He says Ms. Heim told him another guy already took a DNA test, so it's definitely you. He believes she used his willingness to provide and be present. He's hurt, but determined. If he's not the father, he wants off that birth certificate. You can feel the frustration boiling over. Talk about messy.
that the other guy had done got a paternity test on Caitlin. Cause she told me, oh, he already got one, and you know what I'm saying? That's why I know it's just you. She tricked me into thinking that family was something sacred.
You believe she was intentionally deceitful?
Yes.
And what was her motive?
You know what,
Ms. Heim admits she was unfaithful, but insists Chris, Mr. Jordan, is Caitlin's father. She says she only slept with one other man one time, back in April, and then found out she was pregnant in June. Judge Lake's eyebrows did a full workout. I mean, just look at that reaction. Skepticism on max.
And I only had sex with one man when we were together, and I had sex with him one time, but we've been messing around for 7 years, and I never became pregnant. I met Chris, and all of a sudden I came pregnant, so I know Chris is the father.
So wait, you're saying that you were only having sex with one other man other than Mr. Jordan?
Just one time in April, and then I found out I was pregnant in June.
Then the emotions hit. Ms. Heim says her daughter asked, "Does my daddy still love me?" And Mr. Jordan gets raw. He cut the umbilical cord, stayed up for cravings, did the late-night pickle and ice cream runs. You can feel the pride and pain all mixed together. Heartbreaking stuff.
Because my daughter, she's old enough to realize she came and asked me, does my dad still love her? And that hurt me so bad.
She asked you, does my daddy still love me?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, if I will, there's never been a moment where Caitlin.
Judge Lake asks, so how did it go wrong? Mr. Jordan explains, a family argument turned into a truth grenade. A relative blurts, why haven't you told Chris he's not Caitlin's dad? Then, boom, out comes the phone. Screenshots, photos, the works. Can anyone else feel the tension rising here?
So I'm real big on being a parent to my child. That, like, when this little girl was born, like, that would change my life. Like, that would did it for me. That's what made me start going in a positive direction. You know what I'm saying?
But this is what I don't understand. It was all going well.
It was, you know what I'm saying?
And so how does it go wrong?
This is where it goes wrong. Her and the family member gets into like an altercation or whatnot, like an argument. It wasn't even an altercation, an argument.
The photos show the other man with Caitlin, looking real cozy. Captioned moments and a striking resemblance. Mr. Jordan's face says it all. Hurt, confusion, disbelief. The courtroom air gets heavy. Drama overload.
But as she was saying it, she pulls out the phone. And she started showing me, I could pull it up. I ain't gotta lie. It's what the family member tells me.
My family
and I'm like,
that messy, they're messy.
What does she pull up?
She's jealous because
She
Chris was
pulls
a good
up
person.
pictures of the other guy and my daughter, you know what I'm saying, like having moments together.
Judge Lake presses, why was Caitlin on that man's lap? Ms. Heim calls her family messy, admits dropping Caitlin off on weekends, then concedes there was one time on that couch. Everyone's eyebrows are on the ceiling. Things got rocky quickly.
That time I did on that couch.
That time? So it's been more than one time?
No, that was the only one
Your
time.
Honor, I object.
What was your point of having the baby have this relationship with Santavius that he's calling her his baby?
I didn't tell him that. I told him I was pregnant.
Miss Heim, I'm gonna need you to tell me what the deal is.
Judge Lake has had enough conflicting stories. Jerome, please bring in Mr. Sanya Knight. He's the guy from the photos, the "me and my baby Kate" captions. The way he walks in, he looks like a man who's already bonded with this child. Cue the drum roll.
Thank you for joining us today. We are here discussing the paternity of Caitlin.
Yes, ma'am.
And it has been brought to this court's attention that there are pictures of you with Caitlin where you put in a caption that this is me and my baby Kate, where you are referring to this little girl as your daughter.
Yes.
Do you believe Caitlin is your daughter?
Yes, that's my baby.
Mr. Knight says he believed Caitlin was his. He recalls Ms. Heim telling him she got pregnant and implying it wasn't Chris's. He even claims she said she'd fix the birth certificate later. Ms. Heim fires back. That's not true. The courtroom goes silent. Awkward doesn't even cover it.
So how often do you see Caitlin?
I see Caitlin when he ain't got her, or the people who at the school ain't got her. So she gonna sit here and just keep the post line instead of being real, just tell the truth. You know what I mean? It's still gonna come out anywhere it go. My baby, if it come out anyway, they gonna tell you. The baby mine.
Like she crying.
You gonna sit here, you gonna have to apologize, this man gonna be crying. Still sitting here playing. Go on, tell the truth. Keep it real.
What is the plan though? I mean, I realize now that there is a web of deceit, but I'm still not too.
Judge Lake zeroes in. Why these mixed messages? Ms. Heim insists she never said Caitlin was Mr. Knight's, but the captions and pictures? Yikes. I mean, just look at everyone's faces. This is peak reality TV tension. You could cut it with a knife.
Wow, sleeping with
So why did you tell Mr. Knight he was the biological
I did not.
father?
I said I was pregnant.
Where's he getting all these stories about making the birth certificate right and all of this?
I don't know. I called him when I found out I was pregnant and told him that I was pregnant.
Did you
So
tell him
after
you were
that-
going to make the birth certificate right?
I don't remember that, Your Honor.
But the conversation about the birth certificate would happen after Caitlin was born.
Then Judge Lake turns to Ms. Heim and calls out the smirk. This is not a game. Ms. Heim finally admits the truth. She does not definitively know who Caitlin's biological father is. The room collectively exhales. Finally, honesty.
Because you're the mother of a beautiful little girl, and you know she deserves more, and now I know why you know she deserves more is because you also deserved more and you didn't get it. Can we say in this moment that it is the truth that you do not definitively know which one of these men is her biological father? It's okay, because when you tell her, they can't hold you hostage anymore.
Judge Lake, steady and compassionate, tells her, the truth sets you free. Jerome, the envelope, please. You can hear hearts pounding. Mr. Jordan is leaning forward. Mr. Knight steels himself. Everybody brace. This is the moment.
Spinning and lying and telling this person one thing and this person one thing, and your family members, you just keep calling them messy and they looking at you like you messy and everything's a mess. It can't hold you hostage if you set yourself free. So now you set it. Look at me. It didn't kill you. You still standing? I don't know.
Here it is, the moment we've all been waiting for. Judge Lake announces. We can all agree that this has been one hell of a roller coaster with these guys. I'm just glad that Judge Lauren is ready to announce the results. Now, who do you think the father of the child is? Well, let's find that out.
It has been determined by this court. The biological father is Mr. Jordan.
Imagine walking into paternity court and finding out there are two toddlers named Stephen Makin Jr., both tied to the same man. Ms. Puckett swears Stephen is her son's father. Ms. Glover is Stephen's on-off girlfriend, and she's got a junior too. Judge Lake sets the stakes. One name, two boys, and one man ducking responsibility. Buckle up. This is about to get messy.
Miss Puckett, you claim the defendant, Stephen Makin, fathered your child while in a relationship with his current girlfriend, Ms. Glover.
Yes, Your Honor.
You claim you can prove he got you pregnant at the same time, and now you both have 2-year-old children named Stephen Makin Jr.
Yes, Your Honor.
Right away, Stephen denies everything with a grin you could slice with a gavel. He says they didn't even sleep together for months, claims protection was used, then mutters about a malfunction. Sir, that's how babies happen. Judge Lake clocks the nerves instantly, and when the courtroom hears Ms. Puckett has multiple kids, Stephen tries to use that to dodge. Judge isn't having it.
3 months after, I wouldn't even have sex with her.
But you did have sex
Me
with her.
and Miss Glover, we wasn't together at the time.
Did you use protection?
Yes,
You did?
but it was.
Okay, but there was a malfunction.
Right. Before we even had sex, 3 weeks after I met her, she got my
Go
name
right upstairs
tattooed
to
on
the
her
attic.
neck.
You got his name tattooed on your neck 3 weeks after
We ain't
you
even
met her?
had sex yet.
No.
Ms. Puckett walks us through the relationship, dates, gifts, support, then the pregnancy call. She says Stephen rubbed her belly, excited and involved. She even has a photo of him doing exactly that. I mean, just look at that body language. He's not acting like a stranger. He's acting like dad-to-be. Drama overload already, folks.
So in your mind, what was this thing you all had?
Well, we was dating. He was treating me real good. He buy me stuff. He give me money when I needed it. He say if I need anything, my kids anything, he'd do for him. When I was pregnant, he was rubbing on my belly like he was happy and he was concerned about it. And I have a picture of him rubbing on my belly when I was about 7 months.
Let me see that picture. Jerome, will you hand it to me, please?
Stephen counters with the "she was with others" line, but no receipts. Meanwhile, that belly rub photo lands like a brick. Judge Lake presses, if you truly thought she was with a lot of people, why were you hands-on? Literally. The courtroom energy shifts. This isn't, I barely knew her. This is, I was there. Things got rocky quickly.
It's not my child. No, she was sleeping around with a whole lot of people. I know it.
Do you have any proof of that? Did you bring the court anything? Did you hear anything? Did you talk to someone? Did you see her? Did you catch her?
My own friends, they used to spend the night over there. Like, it wasn't nothing.
Your friends used to spend the night over her house? Like
That's a lie, Your Honor.
Then Judge Lake gets real about lineage. Giving a child their father's name is legacy, not a party favor. 2 boys, same name, same dad. That's a generational mess. Ms. Puckett produces the infamous Facebook Facebook message. Stephen promising apologies, help, and, we can bleep till the sun comes up if the child is his. Whew, not the Hallmark apology I expected.
Saying that if it was his, that we all was gonna move in together. Yes, he did. He said me, her baby, and my kids, we all gonna move in together if it was his. Then he sent me another one, said if it was his, it come out to be his, that we was gonna make love to the sunrise.
Right, I said that.
So you have evidence of that?
I have one of the evidence,
Jerome, will you please hand that to me, please?
Stephen admits the message. Yes, he wrote it. Judge pivots. Birthday drama. Ms. Puckett says Stephen told her to call the nurse and insisted the baby be named Stephen Makin Jr. She says the nurse witnessed the naming and paperwork step just like hospitals require. You could cut this tension with a knife.
Is that a text you wrote, Mr. Makin?
Yeah, I wrote it.
Let's move forward from this. Take me to the day you actually gave birth. Was Mr. Makin there?
He came in, and he was looking at the baby, playing with my son. And then so he said, so what you naming him? I said, I'm naming him after my brother. I said, because that's what my grandma want me to do. No, you're not naming him that. You're not naming him that. You naming him.
Stephen claims he took one look and dipped, didn't think the baby was his, didn't sign, had things to do. Judge Lake squints. Yeah, that story doesn't exactly sing. Ms. Puckett comes right back with proof. A certificate of live birth listing Stephen Terrence Makin as father. She brought receipts.
I stayed at the hospital literally, I don't even think it was 10 minutes. I looked at the baby. She asked me, what you want to name the baby? You gonna sign the birth certificate? I said, look here, I gotta go. I got some things I gotta do, and I left.
Well, that doesn't even sound right.
Seriously, that's exactly what happened.
So, when you looked at the baby, you felt like there's no way this is my child?
No.
And then you were done then?
Yeah, I was done. I was been
So
done.
you didn't sign a birth certificate?
Judge Lake says the court even called the hospital. To sign as father, you must provide a social security number and sign. That's not something you can just accidentally do. Stephen tries, she could have forged it. Sir, the hospital has procedures. That grin is fading and fast. Drama at its finest, folks.
This court understands that sometimes we get a little less than the truth from the plaintiffs and the defendants. So the court called the hospital in your home state where Ms. Puckett delivered, and their requirement is that a father, biological father, before signing a certificate of birth must provide a social security number and sign the birth certificate.
Enter Ms. Glover, Stephen's girlfriend and mother of the other junior. She doesn't believe Ms. Puckett's child is Stephen's, then launches into the detective saga. Suspicious calls, a doorstep confrontation, and a whole lot of door-knocking acrobatics. I mean, just look at that reaction. Everybody's riled up now.
Why?
Can I start from the beginning?
Please
Her
do.
sitting here saying that she didn't know about me. Let me tell you, I was at work. I worked at a gas station, minding my own business. She sent some of her little friends up in there. I guess she heard my name but didn't know exactly who I was. I go home, I talk to him. I'm like, who is this precious girl that these folks came up to my job asking me about?
Ms. Glover says she tracked Ms. Puckett down, knocked like security, and heard backflips behind the door. Ms. Puckett says she didn't answer because kids were inside and it sounded chaotic. The triangle is fully inflamed. Judge keeps yanking it back to paternity. Who is this boy's father?
I hear rumbling, doom, 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 doom. I hear folks doing backflips, body jumps, and everything behind the door, okay?
She knocked on my door like she was
I said, I hear you.
something.
I said, I hear you. I said, open the door. Next thing I know, I heard click, click, the lock. She didn't hit the lock. She got smart, because I was about to walk up in there, but she got smart. I don't need no case. So she hit the lock. I'm like, I hear you in there. You might as well come out here. Your friend directed me to your house.
Judge sees Ms. Glover's intention to discredit Ms. Puckett at all costs. Then pivot. Judge questions Stephen's role in fueling this chaos. He's in the middle with hands in pockets, like he had nothing to do with it while he had everything to do with it. Tensions skyrocket.
Let's get some order. Let's get some
Literally
order.
An obsession.
So you were there.
It's sickening. I've been with this man 6 years. I ain't never thought about getting no tattoo on me. You got 5 kids, but 3 weeks later, you go get a man tattooed on your back.
Miss Glover, she wouldn't have been prompted to fall in love enough to do something as silly as put his name on the back of her neck if he wasn't with her.
Now the small-town WIC office bombshell. Ms. Glover says a clerk accidentally read out another baby's file. A boy born July 4th named Stephen Makin Jr. with a father listed as Stephen Makin Jr. Ms. Glover runs outside and tells Stephen he's devastated. He claims it's the first he'd heard of the other junior. Ms. Puckett calls that a lie, says he already signed.
That Miss Puckett's child was named Stephen Makin Jr.
Okay, let's talk about this. I go to the WIC office. We got a little local WIC office. Everybody know everybody. everybody. It's about 2 weeks. My son's probably about 2-3 weeks old. I go in there. He's there for his little checkup. They weigh him. They're about ready. They're entering his information in the computer. Next thing I know, the lady's like, oh, hold up, I made a mistake.
Judge Lake locks in. With the text messages, the hospital procedure, the certificate, and 2 children sharing the same father's name, the court needs clarity now. Before results, Judge asks Ms. Puckett, any doubts? She says no. She wasn't with anyone else during the relevant time. You can feel the air freeze. Cue the drum roll.
Surprise.
Exactly.
To hear that she had named her child Stephen Makin Jr. So, Mr. Makin, was this the first time you heard this? That this child was named Stephen Makin Jr.?
Yeah.
First time in your life?
Yep.
You lying as the day is long. I can see that from here.
He already knew because he was there. He signed it. And ain't no nurse gonna let you sign no birth certificate. I can't just sit there and sign it.
Here it is, the moment we've all been waiting for. Judge Lake announces, we can all agree that this has been one hell of a roller coaster with these guys. I'm just glad that Judge Lauren is ready to announce the results. Now, who do you think the father of the child is? Well, let's find that out.
These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics and they read as follows. In the case of Puckett versus Makin, when it comes to 2-year-old Stephen Makin Jr., it has been determined by this court. In the case of Puckett versus Makin, when it comes to 2-year-old.
Judge Lake goes in. The jerk factor is on 10. Smirking, no evidence, chaos for 2 little boys who bear your name. Then that firm Judge Lake compassion, resources are available. Step up, communicate, be fathers. Heartbreaking stuff, but at least the truth is finally on paper.
It has been determined by this court, Mr. Makin Sr., you are his father.
Imagine scheduling a birthday threesome and winding up in paternity court 14 months later. Yup, Ms. Strong and her husband Douglas invited their friend Ms. McLean over for music, drinks, and rules. Now Ms. Strong swears they agreed it'd be always the 3 of us, never separately, while Ms. McLean says the baby, Angel, is Douglas's. Drama overload already. Roll the first clip.
Ms. Strong, you've summoned the defendant, Ms. McLean, to court to prove that your husband did not father her 14-month-old daughter, Angel. You say 1 month ago, Ms. McLean calls you out of the blue and claimed Mr. Strong was her child's father and demanded he take care of her. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Strong lays out the ground rules like a contract, just without, the actual contract. 3 of them together, raise a baby together if it happened, no solo side missions. Judge Lake asks if they put it in writing. That "No, Your Honor" lands like a brick. I mean, just look at Ms. Strong's face, determined but nervous.
You and Ms. McLean got together to talk about this?
Yes, Your Honor.
For your birthdays?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
So we went back to our apartment and discussed it with Mr. Strong, and he was resistant at first, but it happened. Had some drinks, music was playing, had a threesome, had a good time that night.
Douglas admits he was hesitant. He'd made bad decisions before and thought this was a setup. Then the big reveal. It wasn't just one night, multiple threesomes. How many? Ms. McLean answers like she's ordering bagels. 8. Judge Lake's eyebrows do a full cardio workout. Things got rocky quickly.
Why were you nervous?
Because prior to our first couple months of our relationship, I made a lot of bad decisions. And when she approached me with this conversation, I thought it was another setup.
Oh, you thought it was a setup. So you reluctantly agree. And then what?
I heard rumors about her being pregnant, but I was told an ex-boyfriend.
So wait, I want to understand, after this night, you just had this one night.
2.5 to 3 weeks after the first threesome, Ms. McLean learns she's pregnant. But she tells Ms. Strong it's not Douglas's because she's actually in a relationship with someone else. Talk about messy. The way Ms. Strong snaps back, "I asked if it was my husband's. She told me no." You can feel that sting.
Okay, Mr. and Ms. Strong, when Ms. McLean came and told you she was pregnant, how did that conversation go?
I asked her if it was my husband's child, and she told me no.
I was in a relationship at that point in time.
Oh, while you were having the threesomes with them, you were in a relationship with somebody else.
Now the awkward race debate. Ms. Strong says the other possibilities are African American men, and she doesn't think Angel looks biracial. Judge Lake steps in. Fair-skinned biracial babies exist, period. Then the clincher. Ms. McLean already DNA tested her African American boyfriend. He's not the father. That door slammed shut.
What am I missing?
The other possibilities are African American men.
And you don't believe Angel looks like she's African American.
Absolutely not. Not from the day she was
But to be
born.
honest with you, a white person and a black person can still have a white baby.
Well, no, they can't.
They technically can, not to argue with you.
So when did the Strongs even meet Angel? Not at the hospital. Nobody told them the birth happened. A month ago, Ms. McLean messages Ms. Strong out of the blue, saying Angel needs her dad. Douglas says he met the baby at work when she was brought by. His face softens. He's already attached.
Angel's biological father, right?
Correct.
So, regardless of race, he's ruled out.
Yes.
So, Mr. and Mrs. Strong, when do you realize this could potentially be your baby, Mr. Strong's baby?
I asked her when she was an infant and I seen her on the street, and I was introduced to her for the first time.
Judge Lake threads the timeline. Once the boyfriend was ruled out, Ms. McLean shifted to Douglas, pointing to Angel's Douglas tendencies, ear-pulling, that trademark laugh, even Flintstone feet. Ms. Strong shoots back. Why wait a year to consider us? Can anyone else feel the tension rising here?
Once you had your boyfriend tested and he was not Angel's biological father, you then shifted to believing it was Mr. Strong's child?
I did because in all reality, my daughter has a lot of Douglas's tendencies. Pulling on her ears when she's tired or she's frustrated, Douglas does that. His yabba dabba doo feet, the Flintstone feet that he has, my daughter has.
We learn why Ms. McLean went quiet. Angel's eye hemangioma meant constant Chicago doctor trips. She prioritized her baby's health over the DNA chase. Honestly, you can see the fatigue on her face. Heartbreaking stuff. Judge Lake nods. DNA later, health first made sense. Until today.
But now you feel certain Mr. Strong is Angel's biological father.
I do.
So, Mr. and Ms. Strong, what type of relationship have you built with Angel?
The day they brought the kid to my work and we started hanging out, I did go out and buy a bassinet and some other baby stuff. Like she has clothes, food, toys, pretty much anything you can think of. I mean, I got it all within like 48 hours.
Douglas explains his doubts. Some features look like his, others don't. He's part Hispanic, a bit of Irish, no redheads in the family, and he doesn't want to repeat his own fatherless upbringing. If I am a father, I want to be there. You could cut this tension with a knife.
So, I mean, there's not many redhead people in my family. I mean, I do have a little bit of Irish in me. I mean, I'm just trying to be certain because I grew up without a father. So, I mean, if I am a father, I do want to be there for her.
And so you do believe that there is a possibility, but you are not 100% certain.
Yes, ma'am.
And
I just
you are
want the reassurance that I am.
And because you grew up without a dad, you don't want to continue that cycle.
Meanwhile, the Strongs have already opened their home. Ms. Strong says her kids welcomed Angel with open arms, treating her like a sister. Judge Lake calls Angel a beautiful little girl, and you see Ms. Strong light up. She wants this to be true. Cue my tissues.
My kids welcomed her with open arms, not even knowing. They treat her like that's their sister, no matter what.
And it seems like you have less doubt than your husband.
I look at the conception date. She's been telling me for, a year that she's not, but I went back to the time of conception and she didn't leave my bed that night, so.
She didn't leave your bed?
No.
And she told us for a year that he wasn't the father, and that's the only reason we're here today.
Judge Lake casually asks, when was your last threesome? And these three say, 2 weeks and 3 days ago. What? Ms. McLean adds she's on 2 birth controls. Douglas tries to clear his image. Most of the threesomes were Ms. Strong's idea. This courtroom just turned into a reality TV roller coaster.
You smiling too, you're real happy about it.
But I'm also on 2 different birth controls.
This is fun for you, huh, Ms.
No,
Strong?
it is not fun for me at all.
No, I'm talking about the threesomes.
I'd rather him do it with me than behind my back.
What'd you say?
I'd rather him do it with me than behind my back.
Oh!
Okay. Before they made me look bad, most of the threesomes were her idea.
They were.
That's what I felt like.
That's what I'm saying. Like, before I get look like a jerk or something, like.
Judge Lake asks Ms. Strong why she agrees to threesomes, fun or control. Ms. Strong answers like a thesis, better with me than behind my back, because every man has that thought. You can see Judge Lake process that logic in real time. My jaw's on the floor too.
And so if it's determined that Angel is your husband's biological child, what happens in your relationship? Does the dynamic get weird? What happens?
I have absolutely no issue.
But in this case, the 3 of you are intimate and the baby was made.
Then the bombshell. Ms. Strong reveals she had cancer removed and can't have children. If Angel is Douglas's, she'll welcome her as a gift from God. That shift from spicy to soulful is whiplash and real. The love is palpable. I mean, just look at that reaction.
Have a son and a daughter, and that's all he's ever wanted. He treats my kids like they're his with no hesitation. So absolutely, I would take her in with open arms and raise her He does it for me, regardless if they were there before he was. We all three got together and made her together. We should raise her together.
Very forward thinking. Jerome, this is a first.
Judge Lake asks Ms. McClain plainly, are there any other possible fathers? Ms. McClain, no. No surprises when the envelope opens. The Strongs nod, bracing. My heartbeat? In surround sound. Cue the drum roll.
If in fact Mr. Strong is not Angel's biological,
I'm not gonna cut him out of her life.
Is there a real possibility he is not?
No.
Like, is there somebody else we haven't talked about today?
No.
So there's gonna be no surprises when I open this. All right, Jerome.
Here it is, the moment we've all been waiting for, Judge Lake announces. We can all agree that this has been one hell of a roller coaster with these guys. I'm just glad that Judge Lauren is ready to announce the results. Now, who do you think the father of the child is? Well, let's find that out.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Strong, you are not the father. I'm sorry to have to deliver that news, Mr. and Ms. Strong. It seemed like you were very happy at the thought of having Angel as your...
Courtney Johnson walks into paternity court with a marriage on life support. She says her husband, Jason Johnson, keeps making her choose between him and her 12-year-old son, Elijah. Jason fires back that Courtney undermines him and lets Elijah disrespect everyone. Judge Lauren Lake sets the stakes. Counseling or collapse. You can feel the room tense before anyone blinks. Drama overload already.
Mrs. Johnson, you are here today on the verge of divorce because you claim your husband of 7 years is forcing you to choose him over your 12-year-old son, Elijah. You state that you have separated multiple times over the past 5 years of your marriage. You have petitioned the court to order Mr. Johnson into family counseling because you say if he will not agree, you plan to divorce him.
Yes, Your Honor.
Jason admits the marriage is cracking. He even countersues. He wants Courtney ordered to anger management. Then the backstory lands. He was on the streets at 14 and fears Elijah's on the same path. The way his voice tightens when authority comes up? I mean, just look at that reaction. Things got rocky quickly.
You are countersuing Mrs. Johnson, asking the court to order her to take anger management classes. Now, Mrs. Johnson, let me start with you. How does Mr. Johnson?
He shows blatant favoritism. I'm angry. I just want my kids to feel equal. I want my oldest son to feel loved.
When you say he shows favoritism, explain to the court how.
Courtney hits the favoritism button. She says Jason shows up for Ethan, but not Elijah. PTA, meetings, games, birthdays. The go-kart party story stings. Elijah in tears when people didn't show. Jason pushes back that the kid was upset about cousins from Florida, not him. You could cut this tension with a knife.
We went on a trip to Gatlinburg. It was just the 4 of us, and we had a great trip. And then it all just kind of dwindled down. My son, we took like a safari ride, and he said, oh, well, me and Ethan will ride on this one, and you and Elijah can ride on that. And it just hurts my son's feelings because he never shows that extra step to where...
She doesn't enforce me as a father figure.
Courtney says Jason grouped himself with her and Ethan, leaving Elijah on a separate ride. Literally, Jason fires back that Courtney won't enforce him as a father figure. Judge Lake presses day-to-day differences in how each boy is treated. Courtney says yes, loudly. Talk about messy.
Now, Mrs. Johnson, in your statement to the court, you said your son asked you, Mom, why can't I have a dad too?
He does have a dad. I'm there for him. I potty trained him. I've taught him how to ride bikes. I play video games with him. I've tried so many times. It was years ago.
Mr. Johnson, but do you show favoritism? Do you?
Now we're in the rules and respect minefield. Jason, he's 12. Chores, listening, respecting elders. Courtney snaps that Jason's acting 12 too. The back and forth turns into a live parenting seminar while Judge Lake tries to steer the ship. Can anyone else feel the temperature rising here?
Why? I don't care.
Jerome, please hand me that letter.
There's so many different points
Mr. Johnson, I have to ask you, do you have any idea why Elijah would feel this way?
Elijah's disrespectful to me, to her,
but he's disrespectful
to everyone. To everyone.
When you say he's disrespectful
to everyone.
Give me some specifics. What do you mean?
Cue the thunderclap, Elijah's letter. Courtney says her son refuses to come home when she and Jason are together. You can see Jason stiffen, bracing for impact, and the entire courtroom leans in. This is the pause before the heartbreak.
I do, because when I do go to work, I have to take my son to my father's house. My son is not my father's responsibility.
Well, I'm sorry, you don't discipline him. When he does those things, do you think he gets grounded? No, she'll go buy him a video game, a phone, an iPod.
This is concerning to me because when I hear a 12-year-old child
I don't want my mom and Jason to be together anymore. Elijah's words hit like a brick. He does stuff with my brother, not me. Jason counters that Elijah is disrespectful to everyone, mom, brother, and him. Heartbreaking stuff, folks. I mean, just look at Courtney's face, silent but loud with pain.
She fights with him constantly over the simplest things. Clean your room, listen, don't talk back. It's always an argument. Take the dog out, feed the dog. Whatever it is, he cannot do it. He cannot be disciplined. She won't discipline him, and instead of disciplining him, she babies him, okay? And when me and him were left alone, with me, him, and my other son, and they're fighting for about 2 hours straight, non-stop.
Jason rattles off specifics. He remodels the home, asks Elijah to clean. 5 minutes later, disaster, food everywhere. Elijah reportedly says, "You do it." Jason cleans to avoid a blow-up with Courtney. Judge Lake zeroes in. "Courtney, are you undermining his authority?" Courtney rejects it. Jason says she babies Elijah. Drama at its finest.
Now, you two are separated because of this.
Right now.
I mean, I love Jason with all my heart. I do. And I would love for, you know, us to work and to be a happy family.
We don't see eye to eye.
But at the point it's at right now, I just don't know if that's ever going to happen because so much has happened, so many...
Judge zooms out. This court is about empowering families. She presses Jason. Does he respect Elijah? Jason says the disrespect goes all directions. Courtney insists she's Elijah's advocate. The gulf between love and limits could swallow this marriage whole. Someone please pass a conflict resolution manual.
Would you pick up your room? What's wrong with you? Why
aren't we here for the way you talk to Ethan?
You know, talk to him like a human being, not like an animal.
Doesn't that go for both kids, though? Wouldn't that go for both children, not just Elijah? Like what Ethan, my son, he does the same thing. He babies Elijah. Oh, it'll be okay.
You shouldn't yell at Ethan
oh, it'll
either
be
like
okay.
that.
You yell at him.
Jason adds that when he's alone with the boys, it can be 2 hours of non-stop fighting. And when Courtney returns, she argues with him instead of disciplining them. He says he's teaching manhood, chores, respect, responsibility. The wall between teaching and tension is paper thin right now.
It is your purpose in life as the father in the house to give them that discipline. You're saying you're molding them, you're giving them discipline.
He's showing them when he's not working a steady job, when he, I mean, you know, the thing about it is
education and I do
Jason
work.
sits there and one of our biggest arguments is financial problems. And he's like, I help you and it's 50-50 with both of us, but it's not. Jason pays half of the bills and that's about it.
Status check. They're separated. Courtney says she loves Jason and wants a happy family, but after so much chaos, she can't see a path. Jason fires a neon sign line. How do you want me to be a father but not do fatherly things? Whew. Can anyone else feel that land in the pit of their stomach?
No, I don't feel like there is. From what I've seen over the years, he don't keep a job. If he does get a job, he loses it. And Elijah, it's going to take a lot for those two to get the respect for one another.
And you don't feel like he's setting a good example for your grandson?
No, he's not setting.
He ain't in the home. He don't know what I do.
We lived with my dad from February till July. We lived with my father, and so he does have a good intake of
She
what
needs
we
anger
went
management.
through.
She can't handle them kids. But
I
she
do.
can
All
yell.
right, anger.
Thank you so much, Mr. Amos, for your testimony.
Witness time. Rick, Courtney's dad. He says Elijah gets left out. Father-son ice cream with Ethan, but not Elijah. He even calls out how Jason talks to Ethan. Jason volleys that rules should apply to both boys and claims Elijah gets babied while Ethan gets the tougher tone. The family tree just sprouted thorns.
Mr. Mulch called you and said he couldn't handle Elijah.
Absolutely. He called me. We made an agreement for Elijah to go there because we don't get along. Called me and was like, it's just too much for me too. I can't take it either. Courtney has to work tomorrow. You guys are gonna have to figure something out.
Yeah, but my dad also had plans.
Jason opens up about his deepest fear. He doesn't want the boys to pick the streets like he once did. No school, no respect. Courtney pivots to money, inconsistent work, bills split, but not really, and Jason's mom helping with clothes. Two different scorecards, discipline versus provision, clashing on the same field.
Does he disrespect
Are you all interviewing each other, or am I trying to figure out what's going on in the marriage? Because my thing is, all of a sudden you get in here and you want to talk to one another. If you were talking more to one another at home, then you wouldn't be standing right here.
Judge asks Rick what should happen. His verdict? Divorce? He says there's no saving it. Jason pushes back. Courtney explains who could and couldn't handle Elijah while they lived with her dad. Judge worries Elijah's being shuffled because no one can manage him. Can someone pass the tissues? And a mediator?
You're the defendant's mother.
Yes, I am.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Please enlighten us on what you know about this situation.
Well, there's a lot of disrespect going around altogether. You got the whole family involved here. Courtney's a good-hearted person. She tries to please everybody, and she goes out of her way to please me.
Enter Jason's mom, Mrs. Phelps Schultz. Calm but firm. Disrespect is everywhere, not just one side. She praises Courtney's heart but says you can't be your kid's best friend. Boundaries matter. Then the dagger. Jason and Elijah can't fix it without a third party. Even Jason's mom wants outside help. Cue the drum roll.
Fix between Elijah and Jason unless a third party comes in and does. You know.
Thank you very much, ma'am. I understand your point. Thank you for that. Thank you very much. You may have a seat.
I've set up for Elijah has been in counseling for years. I feel like when he's around, my two boys, they fight even more because he has like this kind of hatred
So it's
is what I feel
my fault they're
about it.
disrespectful. Ethan's disrespectful too.
Courtney says Elijah's been in counseling for years, but the fighting spikes around the boys. Jason says Ethan's disrespectful too. Judge Lake crystallizes it. Parenting problems, financial stress, job issues, all clogging together, and the kids are paying the price. You can feel the room finally exhale.
In your marriage, some of which caused by the parenting issues, others financial issues and such, professional issues, they're all getting clogged together, and ultimately the children are the ones suffering. And parenting classes will help you learn how to navigate through this.